Joshua Williamson, Jorge Molina, and Michael Janin renew Batman in the wake of Fear State as the city celebrates his victory over Scarecrow and the Magistrate, but Batman disappears off the radar upon hearing the news that Batman Incorporated have been arrested for murder. Joshua Williamson wastes no time getting into his new run on Batman, ditching pretty much all of what James Tynion had going on to begin a new story that is definitely a lot lighter than Tynion's work, taking a little bit more of a hopeful look at Gotham's future while building up a murder mystery with Batman Incorporated. I love seeing Gotham celebrating their win over the Fear State, and Batman a little confused as to why the city is so happy, not used to things like that, especially in Gotham, and much less the city actually celebrating him for a change. It in a way makes Batman feel a little bit more super heroic than it has been, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of that version of Batman appearing in the ongoing. On top of that, we have a great mystery of Batman Inc. apparently murdering the new villain Abyss, and it's up to Batman to solve that mystery. It was a great setup, and I like the idea of the new villain being introduced being already dead when Batman gets involved. It's quite a unique take, and usually it's Batman fighting the villain first and then something happens. Of course, thanks to Batman Inc.'s new boss who's teased at the end of this issue, who was a real and legit surprise to me as well, I have to think that there is absolutely more to this than meets the eye, and I'm looking forward to Williamson exploring this new dynamic for Batman and Batman Incorporated. Jorge Molina and Michael Janin team up for the art of the issue, and what a great follow-up for Jorge Jimenez's amazing artwork through the Tynion run. I love how realistic their artwork looked, especially with the stuff at the beginning with Batman taking down the fake villains at the party, especially since it allowed the artist to draw all of Batman's favourite rogues while not actually have him fight those rogues. It was kind of a cool fake out scene. Batman issue 118 was a great renewal for the Batman book, ditching a lot of the stuff from the last run to set up a new simple murder mystery and play to Batman's strengths as the world's greatest detective. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. Batman issue 118 finds Gotham City celebrating their victory over the Fear State and Magistrate, taking to the streets to party as two thugs know they shouldn't be partying since nothing ever good happens in Gotham before midnight. They get ready to break into a pawn shop as one hears gunshots, making him jumpy. Yellow knows it's only fireworks, telling him to stop being so jumpy as they pry the door open. As the door opens, one spots something on a rooftop nearby, thinking it to be Batman, but the other knows it's just one of the city's many gargoyles, and his partner is being paranoid and he's just afraid of the dark, and why would Batman care about two losers like them? His friend however was right though, and Batman was watching them as nearby two cops consider going and joining in the celebrations when the two thugs run out of the alley, banging on their windows and telling them that they were about to rob the shop but they don't want to be beaten up by Batman. The cops go and have a look, not finding anyone in the alley, finding no one as the two men are arrested. Oracle meanwhile knows that Batman enjoys scaring those men, but Bruce coyly says he doesn't know what she's talking about. He knows that something is off with Gotham tonight, and Barbara loves that when Batman sees people having fun in the streets, he gets suspicious. She knows that Gotham has been through hell the last few years, and while they are one of the worst crime-ridden cities in the world, they know how to party, and maybe he should take the night off since he's been extra busy lately with the Justice League and other various threats. Batman knows that he's been busy no more than usual as Barb asks why doesn't he try and train with Ghostmaker. Bruce says that Ghostmaker has left town to begin Clown Hunter's training, but before Barb can suggest something else, her cameras ping a car full of hired killers speeding towards the Billionaires Club uptown, where they are throwing a party, and this year, the theme is supervillain. Heading to the party, Bruce knows that the mercenaries are already there and he will need to improvise, telling Barbara not to scan the room since he knows when someone kills for a living since they walk different and their weapons will stand out from the fake ones. He smells real gasoline as Firefly blasts his way into the party, making the billionaires scatter as the mercenaries grab some of them, telling them to stay cool and no one will be burned alive while they access their bank accounts. The fake Mr. Freeze wants to test out the freeze gun Firefly gave him from the rubble of Arkham, but suddenly Killer Croc appears, smashing the man in the face. Fake Two-Face demands to know what's happening as Croc takes him down as well, and Fake Riddler tries to make a riddle, but Croc breaks his nose. Firefly, however, says he's worked with Croc before, and he doesn't move like that, blasting the villain with his fire as it's revealed that it was Batman in disguise. The fake Joker is left to deal with Batman, attacking the hero with his knives, demanding to know where his fancy toys are. Batman knocks the man out, knowing they aren't worth a batarang, grabbing Firefly with a grapple hook as the villain decides it's time to go nuclear, prepping his his weapon to explode. Batman uses the real cold gun to freeze up Firefly's flamethrower, smashing the villain in the face and knocking him out. The partygoers cheer for Batman, wanting to buy the hero a drink as a little girl dressed like Punchline asks for his autograph. After giving it to the girl, Batman disappears in a cloud of smoke as Oracle tells him that the guests' phones have all been erased, so they won't be posting about that on social media, and the press will enforce that it was all just part of the party. She knows tomorrow Gotham will be back to its awful ways, but for tonight they celebrate. Batman isn't used to Gotham celebrating him, so Oracle asks what he did in the past after solving a big case. Batman thinks about all the times he celebrated with Superman or the Bat family after an adventure as dawn breaks over the city. Oracle thinks that he shouldn't retreat to the darkness to lick his wounds, and he doesn't have to do that anymore, wondering if he wants to come over for breakfast with her and Dick. Nightwing arrives at Barbara's apartment, telling her to tell Bruce that Radu opened up a new fresh bagel cart in Bloodhaven, and he's got extras. Barb asks if he wants to come round, but Bruce says he's going dark for 48 hours as he sees the side of the Gotham Globe blimp advertising that the Batman Incorporated team has been arrested for murder. Bruce heads to Badizia, spying on Detective Chaiha as the woman enters the Batman Inc. crime scene, wanting to have a look around one more time despite the wannabe Batman confessing. She takes a look around at where the body was, finding some black goo on the ground, thinking that someone missed some evidence. Before she can touch it, however, Batman steps from the shadows, telling her not to, causing the cop to pull her gun on him. Batman scoops up the weird black liquid in a container as he asks about the victim, learning their name was Abyss, a masked villain who had been terrorizing the nation for a while now, kidnapping people right off the street. That is until Batman Incorporated arrived to save the day, but they turned themselves in after Abyss's body was found by the police. Batman looks over the bullet holes as Chaya asks if Batman is there to prove that they were framed, but Batman knows from the crime scene they weren't framed, they actually killed Abyss. He wants to know what would have turned them into killers, so the detective thinks that he should go and ask his partners. Batman tells her they aren't really partners, but they did used to be part of the Club of Heroes, teaming up from time to time before disbanding, and he stopped keeping track of all of them. Chaya remembers how a billionaire funded them, and Batman says that it was Bruce Wayne, but Chaya knows that it wasn't Wayne, it was someone else, as a white-suited man appears. The man says that after everything that happened in Gotham, someone had to pick up the slack where Bruce Wayne could not, and bring Batman Incorporated out of the darkness and into the light and truly help the world. The man is revealed to be Lex Luthor, who says he is just there to protect his investment.